Hi, you've reached the Cory hotline, $4.95 a minute. Here are some words that rhyme with Cory. Glory, story, allegory, Montessori.
Live from Cool Boys Central.
You're the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
Hold your dicks and rub your tits.
You'll be ice cold.
Here come the Cool Boys.
Just a young boy.
So cool.
So cool. So cool.
I see Cool Boys.
Greetings, Cool Boy Nation, and welcome to a very special installment of the Cool Boys Podcast. We're still subtitled Fabulous Boner Moments in Movies. I'm Felk.
Until we have a different show topic, I'm Ballard, and tonight we are very proud to introduce to you Cool Boy Nation's very own jaboy, Cory.
Hey.
Actually, you can read this yellow copy here if you like.
I'm Cory. Now, is that specifically for me, or is that for all your guests?
That's just for everyone who reads third.
Oh, I thought that
Really?
was your impression of, Cory's just that guy.
No.
Oh, no. Nolan always has to say it, too. He hates it.
And Steve
he
does not
changes it
enjoy
up.
saying it, but he makes Steve say it too.
Yep, Steve. I made Andy say it. Yeah, absolutely. Dorn's had to say it.
Steve will never hear this because Steve doesn't listen to this podcast.
No, he doesn't. He only listens to Batman and Beyond,
Okay.
a Cool Boys podcast.
Does he?
He does. He does listen to that.
Okay.
Well, you know, from now on, you'll be known as Cool Boy Cory instead of Cool Boy Nation's Cory. So cool.
This is so cool, Cool Boys. Literally, just to be right here, right now. There is no other place I want to be. Right here, right now.
Watching the world wake up from history.
I mean, this is a huge honor, a blessing, if you will. And I am not being hyperbolic.
All right, what are you guys drinking? What do you guys have going on over there?
I bought a 6-pack of Coors Lights, so we're drinking that.
By choice.
Coors Light.
Because sometimes I get on a Coors Light kick.
I offered him Heineken.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I chose Coors Light. It's a good beer.
I like the Silver Bullet. Yeah,
about it.
anything but Miller. I don't like Miller.
You drink it in college, and then you get too good for Coors Light, and then you go back to it. That's my journey.
All right.
We have some quick establishing Cory questions I see here.
You don't care what I'm drinking?
Okay. It's a
Oh,
Paddington?
interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm just drinking a gin and tonic.
Oh, okay. That's fancy.
That's it. But I'm drinking 2 of them at the same time
That is cool.
to speed things up. Double fist, if you will. That's it.
That'll get it into your system faster. Before we get into voters, can we edify Ballard on the discussion we had before we started? This is Cory. Cory's listened to many of our episodes. He was under the impression when I explained that we'd be doing boner moments, as I think many people in our audience interpret that as we're discussing boners, and thought for 50 minutes we'd be talking about movie boners only,
Yeah.
or penises.
I did think that, and I was like, I don't know if I can fill 50 minutes of that. I mean, there's 3 of us, but
I mean, let alone the
I
fact
just-
that you thought we did that every week. That's what it sounds like.
but then I read what they actually were, and it's not all boner related.
No.
Some
Boner
are.
is just a term. Boner is just a term. An affectionate term.
The couple do have mild
Boners.
relations to boners, yes.
There was a dick pic one.
Oh. Ooh.
So, Cory, what is your favorite Cool Boy show?
I know my favorite moment, or the one that had the most impact on me.
Really? You actually do have one? I just wrote this as total bullshit,
I know.
but what is it?
Oh, I'm taking it seriously. Yeah, the one about Predator, and I know you've talked about Predator a lot probably, but there was one specifically where I think I was listening on the way to work, and then I was like, the second I get home from work, I'm watching Predator, which I don't own, so I spent money and watched Predator. So I would say, in that sense, that was the most impactful show.
What did we say about Predator other than
Yeah, what did we say?
reminding you of it, that it exists? You're like, oh yeah, Predator's a movie.
I think you talked a lot about the manliness of the Carl Weathers Schwarzenegger high five or whatever.
Yeah.
Dylan! You son of a bitch. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils? Huh? Had enough?
Make it easy on yourself, Dutch.
Okay. Never did know when to quit, huh?
Damn good to see you, Dutch.
Huh?
Oh, this must be Pumping Arnold, right? This
Yeah.
had to have been Pumping Arnold.
that's a flashback.
That's a great episode.
Yeah, that was it. Because I think I watched Pumping Iron too on Netflix.
Oh, that's a great documentary.
I'd seen it before, but I needed a refresher.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I guess that's Pumping Arnold, which is one of our more popular episodes. Also, Cory, what is your favorite CBA? That's Cool Boy Antic.
Also,
Cory. Also, Cory.
What's a cool boy antic?
That's a good question.
Please explain.
Ballard, what is a Cool Boy Antic?
a CBA.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
Yes. There's nothing. I told you that I wrote this is total bullshit.
No.
Huh?
No. I'll have to come back to that one.
We do not prepare this podcast.
No, it's even better that way. I love it.
Well, let's get into the. Would you?
No, don't we have one more question to ask?
Yeah.
No, I'm not reading that to Cory. Also, Cory, I hope you and I can get married someday. That's from you know what that's from?
No.
It's from the Cory Hotline.
Hi, this is Cory. I hope you and I can get married someday.
There are other Corys in the world. It's like this is the first one you've met. You're like I know that name from The Simpsons.
Oh, that was the most impactful Cory that
Yeah.
I've ever experienced ever
In
anywhere.
one-
And there was
one
Corey
episode.
Feldman and Corey Hart.
That is who it's based on. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that it's and Haim.
Yeah, sure. But I wear my sunglasses at night.
I think more Haim and Feldman than Hart. Hart wasn't a teen heartthrob.
Who cares? He was a heartthrob regardless.
Wait, was he the one? I'm not taking my sunglasses off.
I think so. Yeah.
no,
he's
no,
yeah.
no.
I
No.
wear my sunglasses at
Well,
night.
when you said I don't take my sunglasses off at night, that made me think of that kid who threw the party in Australia.
Wasn't his name also?
Yeah,
Cory?
his name was Corey as well.
Okay.
And he would not take his sunglasses off.
Well, it's the real-life risky business. A teenager holds an alcohol-fueled party for hundreds of kids while his unsuspecting parents are on holiday. 16-year-old Corey Worthington is now facing not only the wrath of mum and dad, but a $20,000 fine from police. I spoke to him a short time ago. Your parents were out of town. You put out the invitation. You started it. Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody that you frightened, to the police who were forced to retreat and whose cars have been damaged, and to the community who've had to pay for this? Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Why not?
Because they're famous.
Because your glasses are famous.
Yeah,
Why are your glasses famous?
I know. Everyone likes them, so I know. I'm not taking them off.
The inspiration for Project X.
Yeah.
Not a good
Oh,
movie.
yes, that's right. That was based on a real thing, like a real crazy party that went down in like a neighborhood in Australia.
Yeah.
You're pretty happy with the way you look and the attitude you've got, are you?
Yeah, my parents aren't, but I am.
Okay, Cory, we've got to wrap this up, but what would you say to other kids who were thinking of partying when their parents are out of town?
Get me to do it for you.
Get you to do it for you, not don't do
Yeah.
it.
Nah, get me to do it for you. Best party ever so far. That's what everyone's been saying, so...
Well, we've got to go, but I suggest you go away and take a good long hard look at yourself.
I have. Everyone has. They love it.
Cool Guys. I just have one quick question before our boners get fabulous. Would you rather be Michael Bihn's Dwayne Hicks in Aliens, endure all that he does in that film? We will have to assume, for the sake of this Would You Rather, that Hicks fucks Ellen Ripley off camera at some point before the attack on Newt by the facehugger, and of course, dies in the prologue of Alien 3. Or be Michael Bihn's Kyle Reese in The Terminator, endure all that he does in that film, fuck Sarah Connor in a steamy hot motel bed, and of course, die at the end of The Terminator.
It's easy.
It's easy?
Well,
really? It's easy?
Yeah, because Dwayne Hicks gets to live a more or less comfortable life of a paid like Marine. He's living like a military life in Aliens. But in the Terminator, he's lived a life of like basically like underground survivalist shit. Like he's eating good food between like missions in Aliens back on Earth and stuff. But in the Terminator, he's eating rats all the time.
Interesting. Now, here's the thing. We do have to assume he fucks Ellen Ripley, but what if he didn't? So what if you're choosing a life where you don't have sex anymore, or you could have sex with Sarah Connor?
You just said we will have to assume for the sake of this. Would you rather?
Look, what do we do when we assume?
Why'd you write that then? We
make an ass out of you and me to give myself a escape option, like a little moment to get the fuck out and turn it around on you if I had to.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the would you rather as written, not the one you just modified on me after the fact.
What are you talking about?
That he does have sex with Ellen Ripley off camera, although I don't know when. They don't really have time to do it.
They do right before Newt's attacked by the facehugger. There's a little bit of like a fast forward at about an hour, and there's a moment they could have fucked then.
This when he's showing her the M4A1 assault rifle.
Okay, pull it in tight here. Right. Lean into it. Mm-hmm. All right, out will kick some. All right. When the counter reads 0 here, I press this up? That's right. And get another one in quick. Slap it in hard. Right. You're ready to rock and roll. What's this? That's a grenade launcher. I don't think you want to mess with that.
You started this.
And just after, come on, you just show her how to use the grenade launcher aspect of it, and she doesn't just immediately just get soaked in panties, and you want to fucking just dive in head first.
Show me everything. I can handle myself.
Yeah, I noticed.
I guess it's not implied that they had sex.
I thought it was implied.
I don't know. The key word is like what he endures, and kind of like Felk was saying.
Well, he
doesn't really endure that much in Aliens compared to what he does in the Terminator. So I think I'd rather be Hicks.
Yeah, the Terminator is pretty intense.
He takes acid right to the face.
He does, but the Terminator, he explodes himself.
He falls out of the sky, and then he just gets his ass kicked for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty true. But he gets to fuck Sarah Connor when Linda Hamilton was hot.
Yeah, she was.
And even Sigourney Weaver on her best day is not as hot as Linda Hamilton as when fucking the Terminator came out.
I don't find either of those women particularly attractive.
I think Sigourney Weaver is really sexy, and I think it comes from within, not from without with her.
Wait, Sigourney Weaver's sexiness is like her personality?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Her insides.
Well, now it means like intestines. You mean like her? What are you talking? You mean her like her psyche, her mental state?
Whatever you want, big guy.
Okay.
I don't want to put a label on it. I don't like labeling things.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Hicks because Hicks is a badass who sleeps through drops into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And Michael and Kyle Reese, we don't really know if he's a badass or not. Maybe he's just like the guy that they sent back in time because he was the most expendable. And they thought the time machine would just kill him.
No, isn't it because there was like an inclination that's like, oh, maybe that's my daddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. No, I guess John Connor just straight up knows he's his father.
Yeah.
Because she tells him.
Yeah. So it's destiny.
Was she supposed to tell him? She wouldn't be fucking up, like, seriously there. Cool Boy Nation.
Wait, I didn't give my option.
Okay. What would you pick?
You just don't even care.
You're the one who writes these. I kind of just associate you with being part of them. You've already tipped your hat. I know which one you're picking.
What am I picking then?
Kyle Reese for some reason. Because of Sarah Connor.
No. Unfortunately, Felk, I am not. I would not pick the fact that I would birth, in the process of providing my semen, Michael Edwards, old John Connor. I would pick the Dwayne Hicks because I think just being Hicks would be so fucking cool.
Rest in peace, Michael Edwards.
Rest in peace, Michael Edwards.
Yeah.
My Michael Edwards, who portrayed the future John Connor in Terminator 2. Got into like a car crash doing cocaine off like a hooker's tit on the 5, going like 85.
Yeah, that was a violent but hooker-filled death.
He also has a huge dick, I heard. Oh, the biggest. Rest in peace, Michael Edwards.
Cool Boy Nation, if there is a Would You Rather you would like us to discuss on a future podcast, please email us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. Well, cool boys, I don't think you can get a more topical Would You Rather than that. Time to move on to our Cool Boys fabulous boner moments in movies.
I doubt we'll have anything Michael Biehn related in our boners.
The setup is this. Each episode, all 3 Cool Boys have entered different Cory fabulous moments from movies into our Cool Boy boner hat. We will then draw a total of 5 Cory prepared moments this episode at random and then talk about all the fabulous Corys they gave us. Now, these Cory cultivated boners could have sprouted because of a sultry, heroic shot. Maybe it was a really, really, really funny joke. Maybe it was just a so silly man booty that made your naughty bits tingle. Now, no one has seen each other's selections, so it'll be a nice big old titty surprise even for us every time a new Cory boner moment is drawn. It sounds like I'm talking about Cory's boner. One last thing to mention before we start popping some fucking boners. Each boner moment drawn will have a discussion limit of 10 minutes, just to make sure we don't get too erect. And most importantly, let's keep it clean, gentlemen. Okay, cool boys, let's grab our fucking huge monster cocks and let's start fucking. The first boner from the boner hat is... Nice.
Awesome.
All right. The first boner comes from me, Felk. It is, what is the best Harrison Ford character from only one movie? Harrison Ford, of course, is famous for playing numerous characters. Your Rick Deckards, your Indiana Joneses, your Han Solo, Jack Ryan. But all of those characters are in multiple movies.
I'm just going to go with my gut instinct on this one and say Dr. Richard Kimball.
I came home, there was a man in my house. He had an artificial arm.
So here's my problem with that. Here's my issue.
Yes.
No, I from one movie only.
What other movies he been in?
Meaning there's
a sequel called something U.S.
There's
Marshals.
no Richard Kimball in it. There's no Richard Kimball in U.S. Marshals.
Doesn't he make a cameo appearance?
No.
I've never actually seen U.S. Marshals, so
he does not make a cameo. Tommy Lee Jones's character is the only connection.
But then there's also the fact that it was a TV show and then a remake of the TV show.
All right,
but you said movie.
All right,
I'll disregard it. I'll think of something else.
Falsified his research.
So that our DO90 could be approved and Devlin McGregor would give you Provasic.
He falsified his research so that our DU-90 could be approved and Devlin McGregor could give you Provasic.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, that's the drug, right? They're giving.
But is Devlin McGregor a person or like a firm?
I think it's the name of the pharmaceutical company.
I love it. No, I think Richard Kimball's a great one-off, only one movie Harrison Ford character.
Yeah,
I think it's probably one of the best if you take out like Han Solo and Indiana and Deckard at this point now. Deckard would have been a one-off if they didn't make 2049.
Yep.
But I would have to go with that. You can't go, Jack Ryan. Fuck.
He was also very vulnerable, which is Harrison Ford is good at doing.
So well, speaking of vulnerable Harrison Ford,
Phil, you're gonna go with Firewire?
No. It's not even a movie.
Firewall.
Firewall is a movie with Harrison Ford. No.
I wish it was called Firewire.
I'm arguing the funniest and best Harrison Ford is retarded Harrison Ford. So I'm picking Henry Turner from Regarding Henry.
Success made Henry Turner's life perfect.
Give me a break, will you? I just want a pack of cigarettes.
Fate
Henry, I know you can hear me.
made it something more.
Cardiac arrest caused to lack of oxygen to the brain. It's going to be a long, tough rehabilitation.
Oh,
Because
that's a really sad movie.
You get to see it's hilarious. Come on.
I cried.
Retarded Harrison Ford finding out he was fucking another woman at the Ritz. hotel. That's why he's drawing Ritz crackers, because his retarded brain can't come to terms with it. Yeah, it's dark if you see it in the realistic light, but and like take it for like, oh, this is an emotional movie. But if you see it as kind of a manipulative and saccharine movie, it becomes hilarious because it's Harrison Ford pretending to be retarded. Before Sean Penn broke that whole thing where
I Am Sam.
Yeah, with I Am Sam, he broke it. Like, because basically it was you play a retard, you get an Oscar nomination at least. Harrison Ford was nominated, I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked it up. But
facts.
Yeah, but obviously Sean Penn thought like, oh, I can do this too, and gave such a terrible performance in I Am Sam that then Tropic Thunder had to go and make fun of it, basically.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard. You don't buy that? That's Sean Penn, 2001, I Am Sam. Remember? Went full retard. Went home empty-handed.
He was still in that sweet spot because Regarding Henry was before Forrest Gump, I think. Also,
yes, I think it was.
So, like, yeah, that was his like, give me an Oscar. That was his like attempt to do that, and he fails miserably at it.
Give me an Oscar
because Harrison Ford in real life has smoked so much pot that he can barely. You've seen the Isle of Lucy thing, right? Cory and me know this very well. Him trying to record a birthday message to Lucy Arnaz.
Lucille, Melissa and I are sorry we couldn't be there tonight. Sorry. We're delighted. Fuck.
For like some like AFI thing.
What?
The footage is leaked, and it's all he has to say is like, "Happy birthday, Lucy. I've always been a big fan. I really wish I could be there."
No way.
And it's like 5 minutes to get like,
"Hi, Lucy. I'm sorry. Melissa and I couldn't be there tonight with you to share in honoring you." Oh, shit. Guys, I fucking love everyone.
I actually watched Regarding Henley not too long ago because it's on Amazon Prime. It's a very sad, touching movie. But little trivia for it. You know who wrote that?
Mike.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Abrams wrote that. And then halfway through the movie, somebody delivers a pizza or something. I'm like, that looks like J.J. Abrams. So, yeah, J.J. Abrams wrote that movie, I'm pretty sure. And he also makes a little cameo. In
who's Jeffrey Abrams?
That's what he went by before J.J., I think.
Oh, really? So he's credited.
Yeah.
That is him, but he's credited as Jeffrey.
As the credits went by at the beginning, it said Jeffrey Abrams. I'm like, I wonder if that's J.J. before he started using J.J. And then he shows up in the movie, so I'm like, well, that can't be coincidence.
Huh.
It also has Hans Zimmer. This is, by the way, well, it's got a kind of lazy Hans Zimmer score, but it's pretty good. But wow, talk about a diverse composer. His
it's jazz.
His 90s stuff sounds nothing like what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But,
very true.
He's had phases. He's had phases. I genuinely do think it's a good movie, but not a great performance from Harrison. My point was that he's not necessarily, unlike Tom Hanks, Harrison doesn't really come across like smart enough that when you see him playing a mentally disabled character, it feels like a different character. He just feels like a slow day for Han Solo.
Yeah, I will say, like, watching it this time, I didn't put together certain things when I watched it because I saw it, like, when it came out. And, yeah, the whole, him, like, realizing that he was cheating, like, that went over my head when I was younger. But, yeah. That
went over my head. I didn't realize that until right now when Felk said that.
Yeah, that's a big, like, plot point in this movie. They both were cheating on each other.
Yeah,
I remember crying watching that movie, just being like, "This is so sad."
No, it's a mentally disabled person who's has brain damage, has to find out that he was an awful husband.
It wraps itself up real quickly too. I'll say that.
Oh, does it?
Like we can spoil this movie. It's 1992, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He gets shot in the head a second time, and then he's cured.
He doesn't get shot a second time.
No.
They.
That was sarcasm.
I thought that was your memory of it for a second. It's like, what movie did you? I saw the wrong Regarding Henry. No, they just bust their kid out of school, and it's almost the Days of Thunder ending, running down the race car track. They just kind of walk off smiling, and it just wraps itself up real quickly. I'm sure maybe they didn't have an ending thought out type of thing.
They were saving it for Regarding Henry too. Regarding her, Henry.
Regarding Carter.
And we're going to go on so many adventures.
You and me, Henry? the Golden Compass.
The adventures will go on, Henry. They'll be amazing and regarded by all of history, you know, and then the title comes on.
Regarding Henry.
And then after the credits, Thanos gets up and goes, I'll regard Henry myself.
I'll regard him myself.
Okay. You're both going with Kimball? Okay, well, no love for Hollywood Homicide, I guess.
Nope. Or Firewall.
Or Working Girl.
Or Presumed Innocent.
I liked Working Girl.
I like Working Girl too, actually. That would have been my second choice.
I've actually never seen it.
It's pretty
I
good.
think that was Mike Nichols as well, so maybe that's why they're like, we should do another movie together, because he did Regarding Henry.
And by the way, Jeffrey Abrams sounds way more like an adult professional filmmaker than J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams seems like somebody who needs to be like picked up from daycare. Did you get J.J. yet?
Get my son J.J.
He should not have. Yeah, J.J. He should have kept that.
J.J., you have a good school day.
That's a good moment to end it on. Let's pull another boner hat from the boner hat.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Boner hatting.
Who is it?
It's Boner from Ballard.
Ballard?
Ballard. Jack Ballard. What is the most fabulous boner caused by Jennifer Lawrence in a movie?
Ooh. Interesting. Interesting choice to pick
And
from.
unfortunately, I'm going to have to be kind of redundant with my last episode. So I'm just going to say Mystique again. But a specific boner moment caused by Mystique is she does a leg split in Days of Future Past where she pins a guy with her leg. And even though
up against the wall,
and you can just see straight up vag. There's also one specific shot at the very end where she's about to shoot Nixon, whoever the fuck she's about to shoot, the midget from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, Dieter Pinklage, and she drops the gun, and it's like just a close up of her ass. And somebody must have told Bryan Singer to get that shot because he wouldn't have thought of that on his own.
There's a lot of great shots in Days of Future Past of Mystique running around naked.
Technically speaking, I should actually say when you first see her walking into that kitchen painted and nude in First Class.
You're not scared of me? I always believed I couldn't be the only one in the world. The only person who was different. And here you are, Charles Xavier. Raven.
As a little girl?
What? No. What she does right after she fucks Magneto. No, that's not even Jennifer Lawrence.
I know, but you said Mystique, and you said the first time she shows up in the kitchen painted nude. That is her as a
No.
little
She
girl.
also no. There's like a callback to that scene where it's Jennifer Lawrence after she fucks Magneto. She walks into the same kitchen and sees James McAvoy, and he's like, "What? You're naked? What?"
God's sake, Raven, where are your clothes? Put some clothes on.
That's not what you said when you first saw me. But I guess pets are always cuter when they're little, right?
But it's like, that's Jennifer Lawrence actually wearing body paint, just like Rebecca Romaine did. But Jennifer Lawrence didn't like the body paint very much. It was miserable. So she actually made them fashion a kind of like a unitard, suit.
Yeah.
It's like spandex that's slipped onto her in the next one. So, I mean, technically speaking, you're seeing more of the
I
skin in
think
the
that's
first one.
true more for Apocalypse than Days of Future Past. I thought Days of Future Past, there was still some painting. I thought it was just they had some ways of gluing it down faster.
Yeah. I mean, visually speaking, you really can't tell the difference. As far as you know, you're looking at Jennifer Lawrence.
No, because on Apocalypse, when she does look like blue naked for a half a second in Apocalypse, you can kind of tell she's in a suit.
Yeah, there's a specific moment in American Hustle when she's on her bed and her husband, played by Christian Bale, is leaving. She's in a one-piece white something, and she leans over to him as he's leaving. She goes, "Come on." He goes, "I gotta go." She goes, "There's so much good stuff here, baby."
Irving.
Oh my God.
Come here. Come on. Get into bed.
All right.
Baby, there's such good stuff here.
And it's a great moment. And then she goes, I was hoping that would come up. By the way, that's nothing like I remembered it in American Cycle. He just goes,
Dorcia. Yes, I know it's a little late, but is it possible to reserve a table for 2 at 8 or 8:30, perhaps?
Ballard's going hee hee, and like the guy goes. it's nothing. It's not even remotely close.
I think you just did it so well, Ballard, that you kept it alive. And now my impression of it is what you did.
What the fuck are we even talking about American Hustle?
But no, American Hustle, she goes, there's so much good stuff here, baby. It's a great moment. I have not seen Red Sparrow, so I can't say.
I have seen Red Sparrow. She is naked a lot. She shows her ass a lot. She's actually not naked a lot. She's naked in it. But like the most nude she gets is half tit, like one tit.
That's a really hot shot, by the way. So
you've watched it in GIF form?
I've seen it in some form.
Thank you, Internet. Kind of making it really bothered me after I watched all of Under the Skin in theaters. That's a horrible, horrible movie. That like a day later, like all the nude shots of her were on like X videos. It was like cams of them, but still, just like I didn't need to spend $17 and an hour and 40 minutes of my life for that.
I learned that with Crossroads after I watched it in theaters, and then afterwards, pretty much the internet, even back then, whatever that was, 2003, was like still had like immediately like here's what she looks like in Crossroads, you know, and you could whack it to it real hard if you wanted to.
What is she doing?
Spears
What
we're
is
talking
she,
about,
yeah. No, not Taryn Manning.
Or Zoe Saldana.
Although she turned out pretty okay.
Zoe did, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Britney Spears does what in Crossroads?
She gets in her panties and hangs out with Justin Long, and they about to do it after like a prom or homecoming or some shit.
Wow.
Graduation.
Then he was John McClane's sidekick. Justin Long had had like a really good like 2000 to 2005 experience, and then he just died or something.
Yeah, and he got to marry Drew Barrymore after Tom Green married her.
No, those are spoiled goods.
He sold us Apple computers from like.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
6 to 8.
He also broke into Hollywood with Galaxy Quest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in Galaxy
He's
Quest.
the fanboy that like has to do all the chores before he can save them as they're like coming into the atmosphere.
You ready for another boner?
I would say my favorite Jennifer Lawrence moment.
Oh,
God. He almost forgot.
Is
it's not because I don't care. It's just because it feels so natural.
I have to say my absolutely 100% like favorite Jennifer Lawrence moment would be. I can't say Red Sparrow because technically I didn't see that movie yet. So I guess I'll have to say Passengers when she has like a sex scene with Chris Pratt and then she gets like stuck in a swimming pool in a white, swimsuit. That was pretty hot.
I haven't seen that. Is it worth seeing?
No, it's a horrible movie. It's god awful.
Okay.
But she looks great in it and she does a lot of running in like running gear. So she's in like tight spandex. It looks hot as fuck.
Jezebel hates it, so I almost watched it. The next boner comes from Ballard.
Again.
What is the most fabulous past movie audience experience?
Ooh, very good. Very good boner indeed. So, so this is just like, what was the best audience you ever dealt with or worst audience you ever dealt with? Just past movie audience experience that would be like memorable enough, I would say. So I can go first to give you guys some time to think. I'm a very positive, upbeat person. Glass is always, half full with me. And I'm just going to pick something really simple. I'm going to pick the best audience experience I ever had. I mean, I could go and pick the times where I've had people laughing and yelling. I went and saw Scary Movie 3 with Cool Boy Steve. And this man kept screaming every single time the little boy in Scary Movie 3, that's Charlie Sheen's little boy, that's Anna Faris's little boy, gets hit by a car or like someone like slams him with a door. The dude would just jump up and go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And like just get so overly excited. Yeah. It got really awkward that he kept getting these, I guess you could call them fabulous boner moments for him every time this little boy got injured. But I'm not going to go with that either. I'm just going to go with something that's glass half full. And for me, the best audience experience I absolutely ever had, now this is not best movie, just best audience experience, would be There's Something About Mary, that entire
okay.
audience clicked, and we were all in the exact same moment at the exact same time, laughing and roaring in our seats.
Exactly what the hell is the situation? What, did you shit yourself or something? Oh, I got it stuck. You got what stuck? Oh! Yeah, listen, it's not the end of the world.
And I was blown away. I remember actually thinking at the time I was watching that film, holy shit, we are all in this fucking movie. And I actually thought that back then. I remember being like, wow, we are all in this right now. This is fucking great. And yeah, for me, that would be my best or my most audience experience.
Yeah, I was working at a theater when that movie was out, and every audience was your audience, basically. It was awesome. It would sell out every night, and from the concession stand, you could almost time like the hair gel scene. You would just hear this eruption of laughter and from the theater. And
what is that? On your ear. No, your left ear. Is that hair gel?
Yeah.
Great. I can use
No, you don't have to. You don't.
I just ran out.
I haven't rewatched There's Something About Mary in a very long time, so I don't know if that movie works today at all.
It's a little... I'm sure Jezebel doesn't approve of it.
It's problematic, you would say, Phil?
Yeah, just the fact that he's kind of like clearly manipulating a woman.
Everyone is in that movie.
Yeah, but the hero is basically just the guy who's manipulating her the least. Although we don't know how much Brett Favre is manipulating her in the movie. I mean, I didn't see Something About Mary in theaters. I did see Meet the Parents. And although I now look at that movie very differently because it's a much darker film than I ever anticipated. The audience
funny.
It's dark.
That guy's an asshole. Like
De Niro.
I hate what De Niro puts him through. It's not even funny.
Yeah, De Niro.
It isn't.
De Niro's obsession with his daughter is way creepier than the movie plays it off.
Just leave. Don't marry this girl.
Yeah.
You're inheriting a psychotic father-in-law.
But people really
seriously. I never even thought of that.
The theater really enjoyed it, and that was one of those times where like, I'm glad I saw this with people, because if I saw this alone, it would not be funny. I also saw American Beauty, I think at that same theater, and I sat between like two different black couples, and every time you see Mina Suvari covered in roses, this guy would go, whoa, ooh, ooh, oh. Every time Mina Suvari did anything like remotely sexy. Whoa! Ooh! Ooh! Oh! Spectacular! Ooh-wee!
When I saw American Beauty, my friend went into the wrong theater and never came back, and I was so into this movie that I said, fuck it, I'm not going to look for him. So... hour into the movie, during the speech, one of the long speeches from Ricky, and it's all quiet, he comes into the theater and starts dancing in front of the screen, and everyone's transfixed but sees this person dancing, and this one guy goes, what the hell?
I think the best was when Thora Birch like does her little tit show. It was like more inquisitive. He was like, like that. I was like, how do I feel about this?
Ooh-wee! How do I feel about this?
You little bastard.
Come
on, get out!
Yeah. When I saw the Brady Bunch movie, it was they were every time there's a musical number, people just got up and danced. It was like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, except like, oh, this is how every movie plays at this theater.
Mine's kind of cliche. I almost don't even like it, but it's The Dark Knight, because I saw it with Felk, and if you remember,
yes, We saw
a couple of things happen in that movie.
We saw it with a great actor for one thing.
Yeah, Michael Rooker was in the theater, so that was nice and weird because he's a scary dude. It was sold out. It was opening weekend, and of course, it was a great movie. But if you remember at the end, during the boat sequence where one of them's going to blow up, and it was a very tense moment, there was a fight almost broke out in the theater.
People were talking or on their phone or something.
It just made it was uncomfortable and it was intense, but it actually helped that scene in the movie. It was just a very intense experience.
The movie had everybody so much on edge.
Yeah.
And like those who were like embracing chaos were like, you're.
But they weren't fighting because of the movie. They were fighting because of somebody was probably talking too loud or something. But it looked like a big fight was about to break out into the theater.
Wow, yeah. So your anxiety levels are up even further. They're even more heightened because of the scene, but also because like, oh shit, these guys can start fighting at any moment, and I'm gonna have to break out of this theater and like get the fuck out of these guys' way.
Well, I remember everybody clapped and when give it to me, and he just throws it out the window.
Yeah.
Maybe that resolved it. Maybe they looked at that movie and they go, you know what? Let's do the equivalent of that right now and put our differences aside.
So the Killer Croc character in The Dark Knight who throws the detonator out the window actually ended up neutralizing the real life fight in your theater.
Maybe it probably didn't happen that way, but that's the way I'd like to remember it.
I think it should be remembered that way.
It was pretty far away from us in terms of where we were seated, but
how big was your theater? Where were you? IMAX?
Why do you think that character was Killer Croc?
Because he has a crocodile tattoo on his neck.
It was a giant AMC theater.
I also shout out to the guy who when in Star Trek Into Darkness, Benedict Cabbage Patch says, "My name is Khan." The guy who said, "Who the fuck's Khan?"
Yeah, you told me this.
Awesome. No way.
That guy also when Spock was dying in the recreation of the Star Trek 2 scene, the guy just straight up answered his phone and said, "I'm in a movie." It's Star Trek. Somebody said, like, "Are you fucking serious? You're answering it."
Oh, you know why you died? I went back for you. Because you are my friend.
I'm in a movie. It's Star Trek. Are you fucking serious? You're answering it. Who the fuck's Khan?
That was close.
Our next voter.
Uh-oh.
What is the most fabulous death in Saving Private Ryan?
Ooh.
This voter comes from Ballard.
Colonel, I've got something you should know about. Yes? These two men died in Normandy. This one at Omaha Beach. Sean Ryan. This one in Utah. Peter Ryan. This man was killed last week in New Guinea. Daniel Ryan. The three men are brothers, sir. I've just learned that this afternoon their mother's getting all three telegrams. That's not all. There's a fourth brother, the youngest. He's somewhere in Normandy. We don't know where.
That boy's alive. We're going to send somebody to find him. And we're going to get him the hell out of there.
I mean, I assume he dies, but the guy holding his own guts, crying for his mom, is definitely the most disturbing.
No, he was fine.
Death in that movie.
That's it? That's your boner? I love it.
That was the
Mama!
He didn't die. He's fine.
Mama!
Definitely the worst death in Saving Private Ryan, or the most disturbing.
Well, that one guy just blows up completely by the sticky bomb. That might be mine.
I think I'd prefer that than the slow death that the guy holding his guts had.
Do it now! Light it up! You! Light it!
Tom Hanks, he seems like he's falling asleep.
Ernest.
Stole that from the movie. Yeah, that movie really should end with Matt Damon morphs into the old guy. And the old guy just like looks at his wife and he's like, tell me I'm a good man. And she just slaps him and goes, "You rapist." You're horrible, and walks away from him.
Yeah, really. Jesus. Oh, man. I guess my favorite death would have to be Barry Peppers.
Fucking get it out!
Oh, you don't see it. Just the tower explodes?
Yeah, how do we know he died?
What if the next shot was him just like falling out of the tower as it explodes behind him, going, sex!
Fucking get it out!
Valor is sex in sex. Double penetration.
Adam Goldberg has a great death.
Yeah, that was all improvised too.
That was all improvised?
It was.
No, the real knife.
No, the whole like him not getting up the staircase and that whole death apparently was just that wasn't in the script.
Jeez, that's fucking crazy.
So wait, Jeremy Davies? Is that just like the actor breaking down and they just wrote it into the movie?
I think he's like, who's left? Who hasn't died? Well, you're going to get stabbed by this guy. And then you would obviously expect in most movies that Upham would go up the stairs and save him, but he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. It's you, right, who had the theater experience with some girls in the theater with you?
Oh, yeah. They hated Upham. They thought Upham was a big wimp.
What'd they do?
Like,
fucking pussy. He can't even climb some stairs.
I think it was when he has those... when he's got all those that magazine put around his neck and he goes, ouch. And they go, what a whip!
Yeah. Fucked up beyond all recognition, right? Get that right.
Oh. Ouch. What a whip! I turned to him and said, excuse me, war is hell. No, I didn't say that.
Whip.
People hate Upham.
Yeah,
I hate it.
My dad hates him.
I love the actor for making me hate the character so much.
I never hated him, but maybe I should.
I hate Upham. I was like, oh, Upham, you piece of shit. Everyone dies because of you, Upham.
Yeah, basically. Well, but he was trying to be the compassionate one. It's about when he...
Everybody but Ed Burns.
Yeah. That's too bad.
All right, let's move on to the next boner.
No, what's...
Oh, wait. What's my favorite death in Saving Private Ryan Ballard? It's like you didn't even remember that I wasn't given my answer yet to the thing. Maybe I was waiting for you to move on. Actually, Vin Diesel's death is very evocative because he dies trying to do the good thing, but not the war thing. And then, of course, Upham fucks it up for... I mean, Upham survives. Doesn't Upham not die?
Upham survives.
God,
yeah.
what a little... Yeah, I kind of agree with those girls. Well, he's a little pussy, and he doesn't deserve to live. He fucks up everything.
Yeah, Caparzo tries to do the right thing, and it costs him.
Caparzo, get the kid back up there! Captain, the decent thing to do is to at least take her down the road to the next town. We're not here to do the decent thing. We're here to follow fucking orders. Guys, take this goddamn kid!
So it's either that or the sticky bomb guy. Just because, like, I'd never seen that before in a movie. Somebody just exploding and then just... They're goo. They're basically just human beings and goo in an explosion.
Do it now! Light it up!
And then, like, what? Like, 9 years later or 10 years later, Tropic Thunder has Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
Just blows up. And it's the exact same, like, ultra-violent effect. And it's played for comedy.
Let's go and make the greatest war movie ever!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Right. Yeah!
Yeah! And also that same, like, people just explode into like a splash of guts happens. I mean, it happens once in Saving Private Ryan, and it's so effective because it's like I'd never seen war be that brutal and violent before. And then Stallone made the movie Rambo, in which that happens every other minute.
I was not prepared.
Like 30 people just explode in that movie.
It's comical, but I remember not being prepared for how violent that movie was going to be. But it's hilarious how violent. It didn't need to be that violent.
That was a great April Fool's for my wife. I was like, watch this movie. Like, it's so good, babe. And it really is good. And then it was like we watched it, and it was like the first hour is following this guy in this real journey about like having to like get re-engaged in the war. And then this really dramatic like village scene happens where these kids are practically put on like the edges of like machetes and like
they throw them into
bayonets
fire,
and are like thrown into fire. And it's like my wife like starts crying. I'm like, it's okay, don't worry, it gets better. And then the ending is just him behind an automatic, just taking out everybody in the area.
Every throwaway death is just the person gets cut in half by bullets.
Yes, absolutely. Well, then he also does a great job of cutting the main like general or whatever in half. Like he hits him with the machete and then guts it through like half his body, then kicks him down a hill. And they do this great job of having his body roll in two different directions until the fact that it breaks his spinal cord and then rolls in two different ways, right? Practically in the end. Like that's fucking brutal.
I don't recall. That whole movie is just like blood goo. Like just it's like everybody's just exploding. It's like fucking Wile E. Coyote shit, but with like blood bags.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's dive into the next final boner.
This is a Felk boner. What is the most fabulous on-screen movie horse death? Now. My real answer would be mentioning Artax again.
Artax.
Drowning.
From Neverending
Fight
Story.
the sadness, Artax.
Fight against the sadness, Artax!
I'm going to go with the British horse who is ridden by Jason Isaacs, and is thus an evil horse, getting stabbed with the colonial flag,
Patriot,
which became the American flag, by the most American Australian of all time, Melbert Gibson. I actually added the word movie as I was reading this. I just wrote on-screen horse death, and because I was like, why doesn't it just say movie? Doesn't it sound better? And I remember that I said on-screen horse death because Game of Thrones kills horses like they don't fucking care. Like the horse that the Mountain just chops in half. It's Iron Fist, the gay kid who played Iron Fist later. His horse, he's mad. And he just chops its head off in front of everybody, and then it cuts to Sophie Turner reacting. She's like, ah.
What about Luck? What about Michael Mann's Luck, where they were like killing horses all the time during the actual production and on camera?
I didn't know that. I never watched Luck, but I know that like
you were missing out.
Yeah, I bet it was fucking so cool because when
so
you think
cool.
of like, oh man, firefighters and fucking special agents and high stakes business acquisitions, all these crazy fucking things that like shows about meth dealers. What if we made a show about a horse track? It's like did like an executive's like nephew get to come to work one day and pitch that idea? Like, I want to see horses on HBO.
Daddy, I like horses. I want horses. Daddy, I want horses.
What's happening?
Make that man make horses. And that man was Michael Mann. He's just like, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Hey,
I forgot Michael Mann was involved in that. That makes me even sadder.
Hey, Michael. My son would like to do a horse show. It's like, well, what kind of show? I want you to race the horses. Race the horses. I want fat horses. And then it's like, all right, do I have to listen to your 35-year-old son anymore, or can we move on? And he goes, horses, you killed the horses. You killed the horses.
I mean, The Godfather has.
Didn't we have this conversation and I talked about how I like the Braveheart horse death? I thought we talked about this.
It's cut out of the show, so it wasn't used as content. So if you could do it again.
Wait, did we do this for Dinosaur Boners? When did we cut it out?
I forget. After it was just an aside after we were talking about Artax drowning, because Artax was my favorite creature from the Neverending Story.
Come on, Artax!
And then Nolan protested that it wasn't a creature, And then we ended up at talking about Braveheart from there.
Okay, well then maybe I'll play some of that back right now.
By the way, one of my boners, maybe we'll never do it because this is also would be my answer, is most fabulous on-screen horse death.
Okay, on-screen horse death, you can't start that one because seriously, that's not this conversation, and I have one. It's Braveheart.
Maybe it'll come up.
What? Remember Braveheart when he jumps out of the
got 80 of them.
fucking the 3 stories fucking window with the horse, and then he falls with the horse all the way to the fucking water, and the horse dies on impact?
Yeah.
Let's not even forget all the horses that die from fucking all the pikes getting split into them. Yeah, the spears.
Do you think Mel Gibson whipped a couple of the horses for fun?
He's murdered a lot of horses in movies. At least 2, right? He kills a horse in Braveheart, I'm sure.
Oh, he kills horses in Braveheart. Yeah, for sure.
He kills a horse in The Patriot. He kills a horse in Ransom. And he kills a horse in What Women Want.
Yeah.
Wait, he kills a horse in Ransom?
Yeah. You don't remember?
When Gary Sinise is riding away on the horse and be like, I'm getting away with it, even though I kidnapped your son.
He puts Mel Gibson's son on a horse. Because Mel Gibson is like closing in on where his son is at, and in order to get him out of that basement, Gary Sinise, he's been shot at this point, so he just puts the kid on a horse, and then the horse just takes off down Manhattan.
Wait, and they kill the horse?
No, they don't kill it. Well, yeah, they do.
Mel does.
Rene Russo kills it, actually.
Oh, it's brutal. Actually, and I would say worst on-screen horse death. Just to add that in there. When I saw it in theaters, it's a horror movie. It was super spooky and effective how this horse just dies. But one time at like 2 a.m. after a long day of working the night shift, I watched the same movie, The Ring, and found its scene in which a horse is on a ferry, and because it's near the scary videotape, it just goes insane, and it busts out of its horse cage and just jumps off the fucking boat and lands on the propellers to be executed in a way that it wasn't as horrifying. It was more, well, that's goofy. Dumb horse. Got scared by a VHS tape. That's my worst on-screen horse death. My best on-screen horse death is Mel Gibson stabbing the British horse, the evil British horse in The Patriot. But my real best on-screen horse death is, of course, Artrex drowning in black sadness goo.
I can't beat that. The only other one coming to mind is that horse that gets its head blown off at the beginning of Django Unchained. But that's not as like...
When does that happen?
No, it does. Yeah, when they pick him up out of the Chain King.
They're not aiming at the horse, or maybe they are aiming at the horse just to get the bullet will go through the horse and hit whoever. But I mean,
I thought he took out the horse because he knew that it would take out the guy essentially by landing on the guy somewhat, and that's what it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just I don't like the answer though. It's kind of like that Game of Thrones one. It's cheap compared to like the trauma of the Never-Ending Story one.
Artax, you're sinking! Come on, turn around!
I don't understand how that's in a children's movie, like at all. That horse, like, how did they even do that effect? It looks like a fucking horse is just being drowned in tar.
It was filmed in Germany.
So what? Like it's just kind of like Milo and Otis being filmed in Japan. Like the Germans just don't like. How do we do scene? We drown horse.
Yeah, we drown horse.
let's just put it this way: if your movie is being directed by someone named JJ, you're gonna like CG or use a special effect if you have to drown a horse in a movie. But if your movie's being directed by Wolfgang, he goes, we drown horse now.
It's the only way to get the good reaction out of the actor.
Yeah, the kid is not acting.
No, he's just like, it's like there's clearly in between cuts. He's like, Mr. Peterson, please stop drowning the horse.
He will pull this horse using this rope rigging into the mud, drowning the horse. If you don't want it, you ask him to fight the sadness. You tell this horse to fight the sadness, and then of course, action.
Come on, boy. What's the matter? I understand. It's too difficult for you. What a whip! You're sinking! Come on! Turn around! You have to now! Sex. Please. You're letting the sadness of the swamps get to you.
I'm in a movie.
You're letting me try. You
Fuck
don't
it.
care. For me. You're my friend. I love you.
Oh.
Don't be hard. You gotta move or you'll die.
Yeah.
Please. Don't quit. What a whip.
Well, we better stop talking about all these fabulous boner moments in movies, especially before Noli comes sniffing around the corner for some sweet, sweaty man sex. He has that sixth sense for whenever absolute delicious jizz and all of its accoutrements are in the vicinity, and Noli is always lurking around the Cool Boy offices, waiting to grab some hard dick that's just straight begging for it. There's a sixth sense for that. I see delicious jizz, people. Like I say, dressing as a cool boy is super fly, so get your ass ready for an anal cream pie. Cool Boy Nation, tell us what you think about this episode's fabulous boner moments in movies. Also, if you have any questions or any more insight on our fabulous boners, then let us know by emailing us at thecoolboyspodcast@gmail.com. New episodes come out every Thursday. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, and Facebook, and please rate and review us as well. You can also donate to us on Patreon, receive additional content like Cool Boys After Dark. It only costs $1 a month, and you will receive special access to content too hot to air. You can find the Cool Boys on Patreon at patreon.com/coolboyspodcast. And please check out our other great Cool Boy Central content with Batman and Beyond, the Cool Boys Podcast, on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Patreon, where the Cool Boys have an uncensored discussion about Batman, the animated series, everything ranging from bat tips to bat nips, and all the boners they have given us. Offer Cory a chance to plug his super cool stuff and so cool social media.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to do that. Just Google the name Cory and see what you get. Probably Corey Feldman is the most famous Cory, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
As previously discussed many times, Halle Berry, Noli's favorite female human to have sex with, played a character named Cory in The Last Boy Scout.
Yep, that's unfortunate.
She's hot. She's hot.
She is hot.
Thank you for listening, and thank you, Cory, for chilling like a cool boy with us this episode.
Yes, thank you so much, Cory.
Oh no, thank you, Cool Boys. This has been an incredible experience. Maybe top 5 in my entire life.
Stay cool, Cool Boy Nation. Until next time, it's Byzies from Felk.
That's Byzies from Ballard.
That's Byzies from Cory.
You are standing American boy.
You have excelled in all things.
I pump while I dump. Oh yeah.
So cool.
Oh yeah. So cool.
Oh yeah.
So cool.
Get out of here, damn silly. Get out of here!
Oh, yeah.
This episode of the Cool Boys Podcast was brought to you by...
Let's see what's in the newspaper today. Canada stalls on trade pact.
Get some
Cool Boys.
So serious.